Today, our lovely Mercury is officially in his shadow period before he hits retrograde. So when Mercury is in his shadow, I also advise that we just take it easy, slow down, don't do any electronic purchases, or be more cautious about what type of plans you are making while Mercury is in his shadow. And he is going in his shadow and retrograde into Pisces. So remember, he's all about the air and communication, and he's going into a water sign. So imagine trying to communicate in water. That's basically what it's going to feel like in all forms of communication. So make sure that you triple check everything, make sure that you back up all your electronics, and expect plans to change. Let's also look at what's happening in the sky today, which is Thursday, and it is the 12th of February. We've got a sextile between the sun and the moon, so there's opportunities for us to notice our ego, and also the flow of events might change very suddenly today. We have Chiron, which trines the moon and sextiles the sun. There's lots of opportunity for healing. It's time for us to put things to an end or find a way to complete anything that has to do with you. You'll have noticed already what's coming up in your life. Where's the healing necessary? We also have our Mars, which sextiles Juno today. So this is about how we are relating to others. And there's an opportunity for us to relate in a way that can be constructive instead of destructive. Remember, the ego is the one that always sits in place of destruction because it's always looking at what's wrong. And then I want to talk very quickly about our eclipse that's coming up on the 17th of February. We are officially in the eclipse energy. So eclipses are supercharged new moons and full moons. So we've got our first new moon solar eclipse, which is in the sign of Aquarius at 28 degrees. This is really a big deal because the new moon is something we don't really see in the sky. So it's everything that's happening like in the undercurrents, the things we can't see yet and will only start to become more visible to us over the next few weeks. With this eclipse in Aquarius, remember, eclipses always bring to the surface anything that is hidden, anything that we haven't been able to see. The truth of it is now coming up, and we're going to have to deal with it. We're going to have to find a way to manage it. At the same time of the eclipse at 28 degrees in Aquarius, we have Neptune at Saturn at 0 degrees, tense degree, in the sign of Aries. This is about how fate steps in and reminds us that we actually don't have control over the lessons that we must learn. As well as that, we have Venus, which is which is conjunct the North Node, all about the turning points. It's all about destiny. It's the experience that we're having. And Mars is also conjunct Vesta, Peregrine, unfortunately, Mars there in Aquarius. But it is that sacred fire that burns for the evolution and the progress of the collective consciousness. It's a really big deal, this eclipse, because it's in the sign of Aquarius, which has a lot to do with not the individual anymore. So let us be more aware of ourselves so that we could also be aware of our surroundings. Remember that a solar eclipse is quite an aggressive energy, so self-awareness always assists when it comes to those kind of things. And take care of your surroundings where you are. Be more cautious while you're driving over the next few weeks. I mean, we should be cautious anyway, but do be more cautious. Like, you know, the Greeks like to say you should have 14 pairs of eyes. Always look around you, not just when you're driving, where you're walking, what you're doing. The solar eclipse is going to be super intense, so do practice meditation, practice your breathing when you feel that there's an anxiety building up. remind yourself, pinch yourself, and remember where you are and stay present, because everything that's happening now is looking towards a big change. And of course, it isn't sudden. It always feels like it's going to be abrupt because the eclipse is quite abrupt, but the changes become more visible over the next few months. Thank you for watching All Things Moons and Stars. I wish you a thankful Thursday, and we will chat soon. Bye-bye for now.